Hello dear listener, join me as I traverse 100 years of horror cinema, one flick at a time. Horrors and thrillers were the domain of Universal and RKO in the 1940s. Universal was mostly about cheap B thrillers, while RKO tended towards the psychological. So too for 1946's The Spiral Staircase. Robert Siodmak, not to be confused with his brother Kurt, who wrote The Wolfman, brings a film with a most Hitchcockian feel. The striking scenes of murder are shot beautifully, leaning more towards suggestive. Sharp close-ups of the murderer's eyes as he peeks from within a closet at his first victim, for example. The film wastes no time setting the scene. The well-written characters have a depth and history to them, likely derived from the 1933 novel from which it was adapted. Some must watch. Kent Smith, recently cited in 1942's The Cat People, is the well-meaning young doctor. In the small town where the old doc chastises the young one for helping and murders are aplenty, he is trying to find his place. So too for young Helen, a mute played by Academy Award winner Dorothy McGuire. Siodmak's direction is on full display. Panning shots, close-ups, zooms, constant movement. He utilises whatever he can to outline the quality acting and tense scenes. It's all textbook stuff, but done so well. What he does add is some surrealism, such as our mute protagonist seeing an image of herself in the mirror with no mouth, while the extreme close-up of the eye of the murderer watching her. Fake-outs and red herrings aplenty add a mystery element to this serial killer tale. The Leopard Man was labelled the first of the serial killer flicks. This is another in the early line of such films, and while completely different in execution, The Spiral Staircase makes a case for being a classic. Speaking of overlaps, James Bell, who played the murderer in The Leopard Man, plays the constable here to perfection. The acting is mostly naturalistic and again Hitchcockian in execution. Music is subtle and infrequent but very well utilised. Those seeking non-stop tension and drama will be somewhat disappointed, as the second act is mostly driven by character melodrama, most notably exemplified by a romantic dream sequence. While it is somewhat effective, it does mildly detract from murders which become a subplot for a fair part of the way. Dorothy McGuire as the mute plays it well, but her submissiveness also outlines the male dominance of the cast. This was of course commonplace at this time. A man decides that he will be married, and if he is halfway decent, her yes is assumed. While it doesn't play perfectly to today's audience, players of the main cast combined with the high quality photography more than make up for it. The unravelling of Helen's past takes a leap in logic, but a forgiving audience will enjoy the ride. The identity is revealed and all ends well, mostly. The stellar opening is finally met at the 1 hour mark with a return to tension when the film suddenly snaps upright and remembers it's a thriller. A character stalked in the dark by candlelight is executed to perfection. Directors from the black and white era understood the use of light and shadow better than anyone working today. The idea that the killer is known by the police to likely be in the vicinity of the house gives the film a sense of the haunted house genre made famous by The Cat and the Canary from the 1920s. Why no police presence is left with this knowledge in mind is not adequately explained. The twists and turns are not especially difficult to predict. The Spiral Staircase brushes up against brilliance, and although it never quite gets there, it does offer some thrills and a cast well worth recommending. Enjoy.